A meteor-like pod is seen hurtling down towards Earth and eventually lands in a forest near the town of Wheelsey, South Carolina, where it opens up. In another scene, we are introduced to Starla, a teacher at Earl Bassett Community School. After class, Starla lingers to chat with her colleague, Hank. After some time, her husband, Grant, arrives and, seemingly displeased to see them together, takes her away. That evening, Grant invites Starla to bed and tries to get her in the mood for lovemaking, but Starla says she isn't interested. After several unsuccessful attempts, Grant becomes frustrated and starts getting dressed. When Starla asks where he is going, he replies that he is going for a walk, but instead, he heads to a bar for a drink. Moments after Grant arrives, a woman named Brenda, who once had feelings for him while he was in a relationship with her sister, joins him at the table. She flirts with Grant, admitting that she has always wanted him. Soon, they leave the bar and head to the forest where the meteor-like pod landed, romantically clinging to each other and playfully teasing. Brenda tries to seduce him, but he stops her, saying that Starla will be worried about him and that he needs to go back home. Just as he's finishing his sentence, he spots the meteor-like pod and begins walking toward it, with Brenda following behind. When Grant reaches the open pod, he picks up a stick and starts investigating it. He discovers that its contents have escaped, leaving a trail behind. He and Brenda follow it, and when they reach the end of the trail, a parasite enters Grant's body, taking control and absorbing his mind. When Grant returns home, he removes all the meat packs from the freezer and takes them down to the basement. While trying to make himself comfortable, Grant hears the sound of music and goes to check. He finds Starla, who is attempting to make up for the previous night. She apologizes for making him feel unwanted and initiates a romantic moment. In the midst of it, Starla notices a mark on his stomach and asks what happened. Grant lies, claiming it's just a bug bite. The two end up making love. The next day, Grant goes to a shopping mall to buy meat. The quantity he requests surprises the attendant, who asks if he's hosting a party. Grant replies that he just wants to surprise his wife. He later returns home with a truck full of meat packs. After some time, while taking out clothes for laundry, Starla notices a padlock on the basement door that wasn't there before. She questions Grant about it, and he insinuates that he is preparing a surprise for her upcoming birthday. Since her birthday is still 2 months away, Starla feels suspicious of his response and walks away in disbelief. Grant suddenly experiences a painful stomach upset due to hunger and rushes out of the house. A dog, noticing his strange behavior, barks at him. When Grant sees the dog, he smiles and chases after it, ultimately eating it. Later that evening, as Grant and Starla prepare for an event, he becomes hungry again and approaches Starla, who is in the shower. Close to the bathroom door, the tentacles of the parasite inside Grant shoot out from his stomach. As Grant tries to open the door, Starla turns and sees him acting strangely. He quickly retracts the tentacles and begins to leave the scene, claiming he forgot something at work and needs to go get it. Then, he runs off. Grant goes to Brenda's house. Brenda, who has always wanted to have an affair with him, begins to undress. However, when Grant unbuttons his shirt, she is terrified to see the tentacles emerging from his stomach. She tries to escape, but Grant overpowers her and unleashes the parasite into her body, infecting her and transforming her into a breeder for his alien larvae. Starla attends the event alone. While there, Bill, her childhood friend who is also the police chief, approaches her. The two chat for a while before joining the others inside. After the countdown, Bill asks Starla to dance. Starla returns home and is shocked to find Grant with a disfigured face. When she asks what happened to him, Grant claims it's just a bee sting. Starla offers to take him to the hospital, but Grant declines, saying he has already called their doctor, Carl, who prescribed him some medication. When Starla gets to work the next day, she calls Dr. Carl, expressing concern that Grant's condition is getting worse. Dr. Carl is surprised to hear about Grant's situation and informs Starla that he hasn't seen or spoken to Grant in over a year. Starla drives home, feeling worried. When she parks, she is surprised to see posters of lost animals. Meanwhile, Grant is busy killing animals, eating, and storing up the meat. He takes some bags of raw meat to the place where he is holding Brenda hostage and offers her some to eat. Later that evening, Starla goes to take out the trash and encounters Bill and his colleague, Wally. Bill asks her if Grant is home, to which she replies, no. Wally informs Starla that Brenda is missing and that there are signs of a struggle in her house. Bill adds that people saw Grant visit Brenda, and that was the last time she was seen. He then hands Starla a card, asking her to call him when Grant gets home. Starla's encounter with the police officers sparks her curiosity, compelling her to break the suspicious lock on the basement door. Upon opening it, she is greeted by flies and an unpleasant odor, causing her to quickly cover her nose. She climbs down the stairs, and as she pushes aside a nylon curtain, a dead dog falls down, startling her. She swiftly reaches for the light switch and turns it on, and to her shock, she finds the place filled with different kinds of dead animals. Starla rushes back upstairs, grabs the card Bill gave her, and calls the number on it. Grant overhears her phone call from the window and becomes angry. He confronts her inside the house, pushes her down, and tries to unleash the tentacles on her. Starla manages to grab a stand and hits Grant on the head, giving herself a chance to escape. However, Grant quickly catches up with her and attempts to strangle her. Just then, Bill and his team arrive at the house, and Grant runs out. 3 days later, Bill and his team arm themselves with weapons and go in search of Grant at a farm they suspect he will be stealing from that day. Starla meets Bill and Wally on their way to the farm and insists on following them. Although Bill is hesitant at first, he eventually allows her to come along. When they arrive, they wait until nightfall, and Grant eventually shows up. They are shocked to see that Grant has transformed into a monstrous, tentacled figure. Grant kills the cow he sees on the farm and starts dragging it into the bush. Starla approaches him while Bill signals his team, and they all follow her. Starla tries to convince Grant to come with them, but when he sees that he is surrounded by the police, he becomes angry and turns to leave. One of the police officers steps in front of him, threatening to shoot if he doesn't cooperate. Further angered by this, Grant slits him in two and runs off. The team opens fire on him, but he manages to escape into the bush. While searching for him, they come across a wooden house. When they open the door, they see Brenda, who is inhumanly bloated from the larvae growing inside her. After a moment, she bursts open, and slug-like larvae emerge from her body, infesting everyone present except Starla, Bill, Margaret, and Mayor Jack McReady, who manage to cover their mouths. The larvae spread into town and make their way into Mr. Strootmeyer's house. His eldest daughter, Kylie Strootmeyer, is in the bathtub listening to music with her eyes closed. One of the larvae enters the bathroom through the window and makes its way into the bathtub. As it swims toward her, she opens her eyes and jumps out of the tub. The larva tries to enter her mouth, but she struggles with it and manages to get it out. Kylie rushes out of the bathroom to check on her mother and siblings. Her mother appears infected, and when Kylie reaches her siblings, she finds them infected as well, with their room full of larvae. Kylie runs out of the room through the window, and seeing that the larvae are taking over the building, she jumps down from the roof. She quickly enters the car but realizes she doesn't have the car key. Soon, the larvae cover the car as the scene shifts to Bill and his team. Bill tries to call the station for help but isn't getting any signal, so he goes in search of it. After some time, one of those infected by the larvae rises and begins to talk to Starla as if he is Grant, having become part of a hive mind controlled by him. The other infected individuals also rise and join him. They hold Margaret, one of the police officers, hostage and eventually infect her. Starla shoots one of them dead, but when the remaining infected start coming after them, she attempts to shoot again. Realizing she is out of bullets, they both start running. Meanwhile, Kylie's family members see her inside the car and gather around, asking her to come out and join them. When she ignores them, her father, Mr. Strootmeyer, picks up a stone and strikes the windshield. Just then, Bill shows up, and Kylie runs to him. When the infected start coming toward them, they take to their heels. After reaching the police car and getting inside, they spot Starla and Jack being chased by other infected. Bill drives over to them, picks them up, and speeds off. While in the car, they learn from Kylie that the parasite in Grant spreads by impregnating some of the people he infects, taking over others with his worms, and eating the rest. As they approach the police station, a car crashes into them, orchestrated by Grant, causing them to come to a sudden stop. Some of the infected capture the unconscious Starla and take her to Grant's house, while Jack, also unconscious, is taken to Grant's breeding room to be infected and serve as a host for his alien larvae. Bill and Kylie manage to escape to a bushy corner near the station to hide. While Kylie stays hidden, Bill sneaks into the station to retrieve a grenade, having deduced that killing Grant will put an end to his mutants. Starla wakes up to find herself lying on a bed in the room. She hears voices calling her to come downstairs. She arms herself with a sharp-edged piece of metal from her hairbrush and heads down. She is shocked to see what Grant has turned into. Meanwhile, having managed to retrieve the grenade, Bill and Kylie make their way to Grant's house. Close to the house, they spot several infected people being absorbed by an increasingly mutated Grant. Despite his monstrous transformation, Grant retains his love for Starla and refrains from infecting her, hoping to win back her affection and be reunited with her. When Starla approaches Grant, he wraps his tentacles around her body as if to strangle her, expressing his anger over her betrayal in calling the police. Starla apologizes and cleverly deceives him into believing that she still loves him, prompting him to withdraw his tentacles. Grant moves closer to Starla, who pretends to lean in for a kiss but instead stabs him with the sharp-edged metal. This angers Grant, and he throws Starla across the room repeatedly. Just then, Bill and Kylie walk into the house. Bill attempts to use the grenade on Grant, but Grant knocks him out of the house, causing the grenade to fall into the pool and explode. Grant then knocks Kylie unconscious with a couch before unleashing his tentacles on Bill. While one of the tentacles stabs Bill in the stomach, he manages to attach the second tentacle to a propane tank, transferring gas into Grant's system. Grant attempts to withdraw his tentacles, inadvertently pulling Bill and the tank along with him into the house. Bill tells Starla to shoot Grant. Although hesitant at first, Starla eventually pulls the trigger. Grant explodes, resulting in the death of all those infected. The three survivors, Starla, Kylie, and Bill, walk out of the house and onto the street in search of help. In a scene after the credits, a cat approaches Grant's remains and becomes infected by the alien parasite. This concludes the movie. Please like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you for watching.